welcome back to Let's Play Age of Wonders Blind. In the previous turn, the Goblin force split, some of their forces ran away, and some of them actually advanced, possibly threatening the cities we've taken down there. We will not suffer that, of course. These spears and leaders of pain and whatnot are prime targets for our campaign army down here. Let's see. 15 movement points. 16 movement points. Well, alright. And then these guys. There's unrest in this city. Of course I could have it produce... If I had walls in this city, I would be able to defend it from a lot of enemies. Generally Dark Elves are not my best friends. I didn't think I'd keep this city, so I thought merchandise was the most important thing. Quite possibly migrating in some other race would be useful to us, as well as perhaps fortifying it so we can defend it easily. I don't really have the money for that though. I could move in some Azracs, but they're not really my favourite. They're not, you know, they're close by at least, so it'll be quick. What I don't want to do is build fortifications in there and then lose the city. So it's either merchandise or starting a migration. I think merchandise for now. I may change my mind later. I'm trying to have as many troops as possible attack this enemy force, and then the main question really is whether to attack whether to tactical combat or just auto-calc it. I do have a very serious superiority. There's like 17 of my units and 7 of them. So maybe it's one of those options where I try and learn more about tactical combat. Oh, this poor lone archer in there, if those guys gang up on him, he's dead, so... try and move north maybe. Link up with the forces we have up there. This basically, yeah, these are all elven troops, elven and human. So we've got some pikes, an elf sword, some more pikes, some archers. What do they have again? Mostly some spears. Got one cavalry unit and this Lady of Pain. Mostly melee troops, one cavalry unit, and one of these, supernatural beings. I don't suppose all spells can actually reach these guys. No, they're not in range. Although it's not that far out of range. few more steps. We'll be able to get that done. Let's have our pikes at least. These guys advance, and then perhaps these guys as well advance a little. Keep my nymphs in the background, and then maybe at least we need our archers to stick together. Can't really move much closer to the enemy then, except going here maybe. And then any further would spread them apart a bit too much. Swords maybe, I don't know, there or something, link up with our other troops. And then these guys, just charge north. I'd like to get close enough to be able to cast that spell, but okay. Try and link up our forces as much as we can. Is, I hope, a good idea. Let's see how far can. Yeah, you can't really go much farther than that. Trees could be a little bit in our way here. Gonna have to risk that, I think. Yeah, that's our cavalry unit. Spellcasting. Nice shots, for example. Okay. Let's put our spellcasters somewhere down here. Oh, you can't get that far, can you? Oh, that was the scouts. Crap, I didn't mean to put the scout down there. That was stupid. Wanted my other spellcaster down there. No, he can't because that guy's in the way. Fair enough. Try and put you on sort of the other flank then of our archers. I really don't want to lose our wall crushing unit. So I'll put him in a slightly safer spot. And we'll see what the enemy does. Okay. Interestingly for us, they're moving straight northeast. Right into the sort of between the hammer here and the anvil here. So they must be very sure of themselves. They might still be out of range, I suppose, of our archers. Not quite. Yeah, you're out of range, but you can actually... No, you're the only one who can open fire. What the? You. Archery. Shoot this cavalry bastard like that. Good. I guess these guys can't. Well, you can, at least. I suppose you can't hit it. Nope. Let's see. Are they in range of a chain lightning spell? They are, in fact. That's gotta hurt. I don't suppose you can... Ah, this is what I was after. And use another chain lightning and I'll blast them all, essentially, to bits and pieces. It's almost as if I'm wondering if it's not really worth it for the... Magicka. Because I'm completely annihilating them, they're down to a single unit or something. And they're just standing there. Okay, it seems we need to move a little closer if we're gonna... I'm wondering whether... I don't know. Try and protect the archers, basically. It's going to be able to hurt one of my units before it's game over for these goblins. Oh. Alright. And he's going after my hero. And that was it. Ah, except we still got that battering ram left, I suppose. We've learnt from before, haven't we, that battering rams can't defend themselves very well. But this is actually out of range of my archers. It's up to my cavalry to deal with them, and there we go. So we annihilated their troops completely. We took very few losses, I suppose. Yeah, this hero lost 1 hit point. We did spend a good deal of magicka, sort of. But that's presumably worth it. Oh, come on. That's it. You move in there. You move in there. You move, I don't know, and there or something. And then we can actually... I'm gonna save... It's 10-7 now? 37? And now these 17 units. Oh god, I hope I can move the elephant into the battle here. We're gonna try it. Tactical, perhaps? Or automatic? We'd spend an awful lot of magic points if we're gonna blast with spells again, but at least, yeah, they're all in there. Okay, yeah, there are no walls here, so I don't know why I was worrying about that elephant. You need to get back to join up with everybody else. Again, definitely prefer to have the pikes sort of more or less in front, trying to them pick a fight rather than our much weaker archers. Oh. Like that. And then these guys should probably also try and close in on the other force we've got. Ideas, of course, is to bring as many of my troops to bear against the enemy as I can at the same time, to exploit or to use to our advantage our superior numbers, quite simply. They're charging straight north. basically, but they're far away from us, so we've got plenty of time to get our troops a little bit more in order. The idea is that if we have our armies closer together, they can all sort of help each other out. As many archers as possible can fire on the enemy at the same time, and so on and so forth. Let's see how far can these archers get. Somewhere over there. You can't really get them a lot farther than that, as it seems. We can get a little bit closer though. That. Our heroes, well, maybe somewhere just behind the lines of archers. Yeah, you can't really get any further, and then we've got our cavalry basically. Maybe something like that. Somewhere we can maybe charge the enemy from their flank or something. The nymphs over here, I'm not really using them very much because their seduce power doesn't seem to be terribly effective most of the time. It usually fails and then the nymph just gets itself attacked and killed. At least in tactical combat it seems to be a bit more likely to work in auto combat for some reason, I think. Here they come, splitting themselves up a little bit though. Of course, given my superior numbers, I'd really prefer the battle to happen here in the open plains. If they could charge up there, we'd really be in a brilliant position to try and make the most of our numerical advantage. Okay, that was a stupid position to put an archer in because we're now blocked. Our own. Darn it. Block our own sort of ability to move there. An archer. Maybe up on the hill there somewhere? Yes, of course. Let's put our hero up on the hill overlooking the battlefield. Our ranks are actually a little bit too closed here because I'd like to be able to fire my archers and yet send, you know, our melee troops up between the archers to attack or something. So let's try this formation, something like this. Yep, our pikemen are getting attacked by the elephants. The pikemen are making good use of their first strike ability, so the elephants are actually taking a little bit of damage. Also the rest of the enemies are not close enough to actually hit our troops. Well, that was what I meant. These guys, these swordsmen, they're slower than the elephants, so they don't reach our troops yet. Let's see, the farthest away archers, that includes actually our heroes. Are they able to? Yeah, everyone's able more or less to fire on those elephants. Chain lightning, I don't know if that can chain lightning hit my own... Oh, I can't cast it again because I've already cast it. Crappity crap. Well, archery instead then. From atop the hill, we fired, and then you don't actually have. Right. True scene leadership, protection, concealment, child weapon. I suppose. Right, I'd have to actually send you into close combat. I don't really want to do that. Because you're really hurt already. At least I don't want to do that in this rather early stage of the battle. They've got a lot of hit points, these elephants. They're tough. You've got to give them that. I think this... Oh, this archer is not a good... This one should be able to... I can still hit my own troops if I'm unlucky, but it's 2% chance. I'll risk that. And then these guys start firing it on the other elephants. One's over there. Excellent. You fire on the swordsman over there. Ooh, nice shooting. I think that means all these guys have fired. You can. Oh, there is another one you can actually reach. Sort of, but let's shoot the closest guys first, at least, and then, am I out of archers now? Looks like more or less everybody fired already. This pike is now badly hurt. What do they have left? An archer, actually. 2 archers! I thought they only had, like, swordsmen, but actually they've got 3 archers here. Right, that... I see, that means it's probably a very good idea to get this pikeman out of there as much as possible before he's shot completely to death. I'm going to pull him back. That also suggests that holding back's probably a bad idea, because mostly we're in range of these archers already, aren't we? Maybe not this guy. If we do charge, then we'll put everyone in range, but... Where are our melee troops? Got our scout. That's our sword. I suppose I'm gonna have to send our... I think this hero's gonna have to close in with the enemy like that, because that opens up for our swordsman to perhaps advance. Oh, they're not getting close enough. Crap. Pikes do though, as do the elephants. No, not even the elephants are going to get in there. Crap. Cavalry does and the pikes do. Send in the pikes. And then the Oliphants. Oh, they don't get in there. Don't get close enough to do anything. Same with the swords. That's a nuisance. Seriously, not even our... Come on. Oh. That was a slightly... Yeah, you're just not close enough. If I hadn't sent the pikes in, you would have been able to get in there, so that was ridiculously stupid of me. Perhaps better to back them off slightly then. Send the elephants down there to support them a little bit. And the nymphs, I suppose, can't get down there either. No. The elf swordsman will advance, I think. They certainly can't get far enough to attack anyone, but they're going to advance. I suppose the nymphs can advance a little bit at least. I think that's it. I think everyone else moved, sort of. Elephant can get farther, but not far enough. Better to, I don't know. Maybe it is better to move them a bit closer, actually. That way we'll try it like this. And those archers moved in behind that building there. Running for it, basically. Our swordsman took a hit by that archer. The question is, can these guys move? Yeah, they can move around and get to that guy. Myself. Not quite close enough. It's a bit too far off, I suppose. Oh, our archers are actually in range. That's brilliant. So long as we don't hit our own troops, which we likely will. You're out of range. It was actually smart of him to move back there because he moved out of range completely almost. Here's a good shot at least. And that one went down. That was a really good shot, in fact. Brilliant shot, in fact. So there's what am I waiting for? It's just there we go. The battle is won, and the city of Isborne is captured. Which I believe. Let's take a look at realm report and cities. Isborne, I suppose. Yeah, it's actually a size 4 city. Another size 4 city. Azrax, I suppose. Yeah, so Okay, what can they produce? They can produce elephants once a turn, or swords or archers. Installing scorpions is not something I'm going to invest in, I think. I think maybe producing merchandise until I can get enough money to upgrade. Or actually, that's silly. You shouldn't produce merchandise. One turn left. What's that? Makes no sense. What you should do, I want to fortify this city. Oh, that's more expensive when it's a big city. That makes sense, actually. I still think it's probably worth it, though. I'm just going to check my finances with respect to this city. Yeah, they're upgrading. Oh no, come on! It crashed. It friggin' crashed. Oh, I'll come back then.